It is the final day of the final full field event of 2023, and so much is at stake. Player of the Year, that points-based award is up for grabs this week and next. You've got $1 million for the Aon Risk Reward Challenge being decided today, and oh yes, a coveted trophy, the ANNIKA, driven by Gainbridge at Pelican here at Bel Air, Florida. Lilia Vu, 3 times a winner this year, including 2 majors, has caught Emily Pedersen looking for her first career victory. And lots of players in contention and so much to play for, including a spot next week at the CME Group Tour Championship. Grant Boone, Morgan Pressel with you, along with Tom Abbott. And out on the golf course, Karen Stupples and Kay Cockrell take you to the par 4 8th. And one UCLA Bruin watching a couple of others, including Patty Tavatanikit. Hello, Kay Cockrell.
Hey, Grant. It's great to be here this afternoon. Yes, nice to watch a couple of fellow Bruins, very talented ones. Patty Tavatanikit not having the kind of day that she had yesterday when she shot 62, has already made 2 bogeys. No birdies. That's a 5-iron. This 8th hole playing very long today. Back into a little breeze.
Morgan, it was all offense yesterday on moving day for so many of these players, including Patty.
Yeah, and it's hard very often to follow up a low round like that. We talk about it all the time. Your expectations are high. You've made everything. The hole looks like as big as a garbage can, Kay. You got to find something to follow it up.
Yeah, definitely. But today is a different day. It's Sunday. There's a lot on the line, and there's more wind at this point today than they had yesterday. It was pretty dead calm, ripe conditions for going low. Today, a little more thought and a little tougher time controlling the ball in this probably half a club up to close to a club at times.
Oh, what a shot from Atha. What a week for her, coming in number 100. Is this going to stay? It's going to be close. And she may get relief if it stays there. May not need it. 100th on the race to the CME Globe points list.
How quick was that fringe right there? That just kept going.
Wow. All right, we're at the 10th, and look at Lexi Thompson's club of choice after hitting the green in regulation.
And we know Lexi loves to take putter from just about everywhere, but that shows just how severe this ridge in the 10th green is. And when you miss it, it is just diabolical. She couldn't have done much better with that than that with the putter.
We've got a tie at the top now, and Lilia Vu on the tee at 8. Karen Stupples is with this group.
Bunker on the left would be in play for Lilia, and that is right down the middle.
Pars, Karen, for our final group at the 7th.
Yeah, Amy. What are the nicest swings in golf, that is for sure. And I said that bunker on the left will be in play for her. There's more room down to the right.
Yeah.
As Kay was saying, back into the wind today. That's nice.
Right. Off the right, meanly off the right. Here, okay.
And Karen Emily Pedersen, first time she'd ever had the lead was yesterday going into a round. She extended the lead from 2 to 3, and now she's been caught.
Yeah, just been treading water today, all pars so far on the card, and it's, as Kay was saying, slightly different. The wind's up a little bit more than it has been in the previous days, and it's hard to maintain that lead position. This is heading towards that bunker on the left.
She got lucky and bounced out of that bunker yesterday. Doesn't look like she got quite as fortunate today.
To the 9th we go. We say hello to Tom.
Yeah, this is Minami Katsu. Had a nice fight back yesterday. Started with a triple bogey 7, but ended up finishing with a round of 68. Short hole today, the 9th. And Katsu giving herself a chance to get within 4 of the lead.
All right, at the 10th, Lexi. You see number 88 in the race to the CME Globe. This is her par putt. That'll go down as a 3-putt because the shot was struck from on the green, but that's something to watch as our final couple of groups get to this wild putting surface at the 10th. We're back at the 8th and have ANNIKA with her 3rd.
Yeah, even though we talked about the 2 Bruins in this group, Patty and Allison Lee, they did not play together at UCLA, different time frames. But Patty did play with Lily Vu, who was in the final group. She has 17 paces to the edge of the green, and then like another 8 paces or so to the hole.
Okay, looks like she's not quite on the thin grass, able to spin it out of that lie. Nicely done. Was sitting up just a little bit, and the slight rough was able to slide the club underneath the ball.
Just checking with Brooke Henderson. She's at the 11th. So much promise from Brooke after the opening round here. 8 under par to begin the week, but then a back 9 on Friday just went the wrong way, and now finds herself just inside the top 20.
All right, Arthur Munoz, 3rd at the 8th.
Arthur settled into her round very nicely today, and she's coming off of 2 straight birdies at the 6th and 7th. I'm going to try to putt this one in from about 5 paces off the back of the green.
She lives in South Florida, Kay, so she will be very comfortable around with this putting surface. Knows how to putt from these fringes. Looks like it's a touch into the green. Just have to watch if it bobbles a fraction at the start.
I'd say that was a pretty good effort right there. And it's going to leave her an easy putt for par.
Yeah, it looked good for a long time there. Maybe carrying a fraction too much pace, but caught a lot of the hole.
Par at the 8th. He's going to pick up ground on the field. Allison Corpuz, what a year for her. U.S. Women's Open champ, but besides that, in contention multiple times. And a nice way to finish.
Talk about picking up shots on the field.
Yeah.
Birdie at 18, hardest hole of the day.
Annually, the toughest here. That whole location over on the right, as it has been on Sunday in years past. Here is Allison Lee at the 8th.
Looking at a pretty hefty par putt. Drove it in the left fairway bunker. Had to hit a short iron out. Wedge to this point. And this to stay bogey-free this weekend. Had 6 birdies and an eagle on a clean card yesterday.
Wow.
She's going to remember that one for a while.
She was on 59 watch yesterday. She played the back 9. She was 7 under through 11, 8 under through 13, and somehow scrambles for par here.
And this has been one of the biggest difference makers. This club in her bag, working with a new putting coach, and said she feels so much more confident over the ball than she used to be, and you can see it. You see it in the results.
Steph Kiriakou is a player who is trying to earn a spot in next week's CME Group Tour Championship. You see she's number 71 in the race to the CME Globe. At the moment, she's projected to 62nd.
Oh, and she landed just on the downslope, so it's going to trickle back to the edge of the green. But all in all, a better place to be than where we saw Lexi chipping from, still on the putting surface.
To the 9th.
Here's Roning Yin. This to get to 13 under par. Roning still has a mathematical chance to win the Rolex Player of the Year award, but she's going to have to do something very special on the back nine and hope that Lilia Vu struggles.
Finish it a wee bit left. That's absolutely perfect.
Back at the 8th.
Yeah. Okay, just really commit to it. Just back yourself.
Sort of steep poker face. Emily's been really studying, working on the trigonometry of it and the angles and how much you can get up over. If you go a little bit left, it's less of a lip to get out. 160 to the front, drag all the way back into the wind.
So important, Karen, to choose a club that gets you over this lip. That's the #1 goal.
This is a seriously good shot.
Yeah, that's well done. It's going to leave a tricky chip, but from where she was, all things considered, smart play and very well done.
Up 1 to the 9th.
Katsu for her birdie. Birdied both the par 3s on the front 9, Minami Katsu.
And back at the 8th, Amy Yang, second.
She's got 183 all the way to that hole, back into the wind. Ball is below her feet just a little bit. Playing that back, trying to keep it down.
It's going to trickle off the back of that green. How far will it go is the question.
Seeing right on the tower is good.
Fortunate to stay up there.
Fired a good start line. Stock was good. I like it.
I keep it here for Lilia Vu. 3 under today.
Vu's got 179 to the hole. The difficulty here is she's on a bit of an upslope here into the wind. So it's going to be hard to get the right distance on this one. No.
Sit.
It's drawing.
It hit into that last little upslope on the back left, I think. May have slowed it down a touch.
Yeah, that'll be a similar putt to the one we just saw Allison Lee make for par. We know it's makeable.
9.
Arthur.
That was a wedge on the way. Right to left wind, just a little bit.
Very good.
On the tee of the 12th, we still haven't given out the 2-year lease to that Lamborghini Urus, Brooke Henderson, who won a car with a hole-in-one at the KPMG Women's PGA back in 2016. Oh, it's in her rearview mirror now, but very close to the 9th.
Allison Lee now.
She got a great visual of Arthur Muñoz's shot. It's just a wedge of sorts, and it's a matter of how straight and how dialed into the distance you can get.
Little segment of the green on the right where they've cut the flag today. You can't really go too far right of the flag because the ball can gather down into the water, but it's only 123 yards, Kay, so as you say, players going right at it.
Yeah, and challenging thing here is the wind is predominantly right to left, but occasionally it feels like it's coming out of more than north, helping. So right now it feels like the wind's died a little. Patty hitting a gap wedge.
She was set up well right there with her feet.
And that is wet. That is a huge mistake with that club in her hand.
Patty's struggling. She's struggling today, Kay. I mean, she's 2 over par, and now she's going to struggle to make anything here.
That could keep her out of the CME Group Tour Championship. Comes in 61st. This is Steph Kiriakou at the 10th.
Yeah, up and over a little ridge here. Should go pretty good left to right. Back up the hill at the end. It is just such a tough hole location today on the 10th.
All right, a third here for our co-leader Pedersen at the 8th.
And she's just going to come up and over that little swale and by the looks of where she's just walked up to. She's going to try and bump it into the very top of that bank and let it jump up and trickle down towards the hole. She used a 6-iron from that bunker. That's some really good elevation on the 6-iron.
Had to pick it clean, Karen, and get that height.
It was awesome.
It needs a good one here to keep the card bogey free this weekend.
That just landed about a yard short of where she was pointing.
Yeah, needed just a fraction more. You can see how dark that grass is where she landed into the green. It's not gonna need it. You need to carry it. If you're gonna hit those types of bump shots into the green, you have to carry it as close to the green as possible.
Birdie putt for Wei Ling Shi of Chinese Taipei. 103 in the race to the CME Globe. At the moment projected to move to 94th. Her exemption for winning in Kingsmill 2 years ago ends at the end of this year. So she would not be fully exempt unless she can stay inside this projected top 100. So good work out of Wei Ling. Back at the 8th, this is Amy Yang with her 3rd.
And not a bad place to be. I know you're off the back of the green, but if you're able to get the putter out as Amy has, it's not too bad. These fringes roll pretty quickly as well. It's going to be downhill off that fringe and a little bit more back uphill towards the hole once it hits the green.
Set the tournament record with a 61 yesterday. Her career low in more than 1,100 rounds in LPGA competition. To the 9th.
Yeah, Paddy's just figuring out the ruling over there. So Alison Lee's going to go first.
Yeah, this has about 6 inches left to right break. And she was a little tentative. Knows it gets a bit speedy past the hole.
At the 11th, this is Sarah Schmelzel for a birdie. You can see 62nd in the race to the CME Globe coming in. And that's going to help with Patty struggling. She's now projected to go to 61st, but if once Patty's score at 9 is recorded, that could change as well. So it's very tight at the moment to get into that CME Group Tour Championship. A reminder, and we'll keep talking about it, top 60 will be heading next week to the very lucrative season-ending event.
And back at the 8th, the chance for Lily Avu to take the lead.
Quite a nice spot to putt from here. It's going to be uphill, and I think with the way this green slopes, it has to go left. It can be a little bit more aggressive on it.
Now she may still have the lead in a moment. Emily Pedersen with a par putt coming up. Lily is Solheim Cup teammate Megan Kang. This is for par at 10. Long with a second. Ooh. 10's tough. Back at the 8th. She got caught but never passed yesterday. This to stay tied for the lead. Emily Pedersen.
Not an easy putt here either. It's going to break round to the left, but it is downhill as well, so not one that you can really give a good run at.
Yeah, she never read that break that you mentioned there, Karen. It's a bit of a misread or bobbled off the face, one or the other.
Let's see how she handles now playing from behind as we check back in with Brooke Henderson at the 12th. Beautiful tee shot, pays it off. Shot 62 on Thursdays, was mentioned. And that gets her to -10.
Third here for Patty T at the 9th.
Tom, it took her a good dozen attempts to try to get the ball to stay resting outside of the red penalty area, and it's sitting very precariously. Pretty straightforward chip and run at this point.
But it is going to be a bogey for Patty. It's going to be the third bogey of the front 9.
Bogey putt for Pedersen at 8. Well, she caught a break off the tee yesterday, made par. Today she found that bunker that she skirted yesterday.
Yeah, made the same mistake, but a different result. The difference between being in that bunker and not. She had a beautiful shot out of the bunker, but now has to shake it off. And sometimes your mentality changes. Now I'm behind. Now I have to chase.
Lexi for a birdie at 11. Lexi's got a long way to go if she's going to make it inside that top 60. I mean, the way it stands right now, I think it's going to be too tricky. She would really have to birdie in. She's got the talent to do it, but time is running out for Lexi to make it into the CME Group Tour Championship. She's never missed one in her LPGA career. Now over at the 9th, Arthur Munoz for a birdie.
Yeah, this is a sweet opportunity right here. A little sliding putt left to right. Doesn't really have to worry about the speed getting away from her like Allison Lee did. Tom, a little bit of a parallel situation, although she's much older than Emily Pedersen. 1 win on the LPGA Tour with 5 LET wins for Arthur.
Yeah, it came a long time ago at the match play, the old match play event on the LPGA in New Jersey. Great week though for Arthur, and she'll take a lot of confidence out of this. She does have an extension to her maternity leave on the LPGA, which stretches into the beginning of next year. She has 3 events, but she's only qualified for 1 of them. So really, this is the cutoff for Arthur. That's a par for Allison Lee. You don't want to leave it all down to 1 event at the beginning of next year. The medical and maternity policy on the LPGA Tour is great for the players, but it gets quite confusing when you try to figure out how many events a player has to keep their card.
I definitely feel like a little help right now. You can see those flags above your head.
Just almost stop.
Yeah, just a touch off would be great right now. Like just think 20. Like, yeah. On a good line, see it landed just left of it.
Am I good?
Yeah, you're great.
Okay. This is a wedge for Lily at all. That whole location tucked on the right side. The wind is off the right, so that's going to help push it away from the penalty area.
When you look away in disgust, Karen, and it's only 20 feet, her expectations are pretty high. Considering how well she's hit her irons this week, I don't think we're surprised.
She's at the 15th. This is the player 60th in the race to the CME Globe. Bianca Pagnanan obviously could fall back, but she has made a wonderful run here over the last few holes. As you can see, birdie, eagle, and now she is projected to be inside the mark by 4 spots, so she's safe right now. Back over to that final 3-ball, and Amy Yang on the tee.
Amy has an element of serenity about her. Having spoke to her yesterday, there seems to be a lot of calmness in her. Like, she doesn't seem to be focused on anything other than the individual shots in her hand. And that was a very controlled little lineup.
And I'm going to go too far.
To 12, Lexi Thompson on the tee. Got to finish something like 3rd to have a chance to make it back to Tiburon, where she has won before. This will help.
I was going to say, she's only about a 4-hour drive from home. Would have been nice to take that new car back with her.
Yeah, I think she's okay. She's got a garage full of them. 9.
Emily Pedersen.
Emily has a wedge out. I think this is a good club for her. Wind off the right. change in attitude right now. I'm going to kind of turn it around to maybe just be a little bit more aggressive. And this one's led to the flag.
Yeah, I was going to say, not surprised, considering she hit it in the water on Friday over close to where this hole location is today. So safe play there.
Lilia Vu is out in front. Back out at the 9th, it's the final round of the ANNIKA, driven by Gainbridge at Pelican. We're in Bel Air, Florida, just a couple of miles from the Gulf of Mexico in the Tampa area of the state. And this is Amy Yang for a birdie.
And it is back downhill, Tom, towards the hole. Now you've got an awkward little bank just off the bunker that's to her left. It's going to send it to the right at the start, but then it's going to break back left as it approaches the hole. I think for Amy, I mean, that was obviously, she was trying to hit a very small 9-iron in there, but I think she had to be in between clubs. The shorter club, the wedge, I think she felt a bit dicey with the front of the green, so sometimes you just have to take the lesser of the two evils.
Yeah, it's quick above the hole here. The greens at the beginning of the day running at 13 on the stimp. They slow down a little bit as the day goes on, but that's some of the quickest that we've seen all season. This golf course is just fabulous in the way that it is presented. And now Emily Pedersen for a birdie to bounce back. It's been a great bounce back, Karen.
It really would. And she's been patient all day. Like, she hasn't looked like she's been too flustered by anything yet. So it's good for her mentally. But you talk about the condition of the golf course, and I am genuinely surprised if I see a weed out here. And I've only seen one. So it's pretty spectacular out here.
Oh, she liked it. You can see, I was watching that for a long time. Did you take care of that weed, Karen?
I did. I couldn't stand to see it there. So it's no longer on the golf course, so there is no weeds now.
Perfect. That's what we like to hear.
Snuff it out. All right, here's Lexi after a great tee shot at 12 for another birdie. Okay. Just trying to keep hope alive here. That's going to move her a little bit closer. She's got to finish third. Got to. Solo third to even have a chance to make it to next week. We know Lilia will be there.
Yeah, Lilia's going to be one of the favorites going into next week with the way that she's played this year. And certainly with the way she's played this week.
She seems to have a good nose for finishing, doesn't she? Like, when she gets a hint of a potential win, she seems to seal the deal pretty well. But, I was doing a little bit of aim point there, and I was having a good thinking about aim point earlier today, and thinking that if there's ever any doubt, it gives you something to hang your hat on, to quantify feel. If you ever doubt the feel.
Maybe that little bit of doubt, the reason why she went into the aim point, was the reason why she was a little more tentative there. She doesn't always use it.
Now Amy Yang for the par. See how far that ball has run by. Once you get above the hole, it just becomes even more difficult on these greens.
They are lightning fast, Tom. No doubt about it.
Well, I was thinking about you saying, Tom, that it's 13, but then you add in the grain as well. So if you're downhill putting on a 13 on Bermuda grass, it's going to be more like 14, 14 and a half, just being down grain like Amy was there. This one the opposite, back up the hill and into the grain.
Yeah, good two putt in the end from Amy Yang. trying to win for the first time on American soil. Lilia Vu has had a fabulous year with 2 major victories.
At the 10th, Arthur Munoz with her second.
174 to the hole downwind. Going with a 6 hybrid, trying to land this 160-ish at the top.
It's still going to release all the way back over the green. You just have to be so perfectly dialed in on 10 today to get it anywhere near that back shelf, okay?
Yeah, it's not an easy shot. You can just see the top half of the flag, and you definitely don't want to keep it up top. And is that what Allison just did?
Yeah.
It looked like she didn't hit it very solidly. Looked a little chunky, but God.
Yeah.
I mean, that easily could have just trickled over.
Shook her right hand after that shot.
Patty Tavatanakit.
Yeah, from the left-hand side of the fairway.
And that one carried the entirety of the downslope. Still released pretty good to the back of the green, but one of the best we've seen on 10 today.
Just 3 birdies at that 10th. Bianca Pagdananen at 16. Number 60 in the race to the CME Globe. And in position to keep inside the top 60 and make it to Tiburon. Steph Kiriakou is trying to creep closer. She's now projected 61st as she tees it up at the 12th.
And it's a small target. I know we've seen Brooke and Lexi hit it tight, but it's a small area on the right side of this green where this flag is located today. Take dead aim.
Yes.
Beautiful. They did move the tee up a little bit, make it a touch shorter than it was when the whole location was over there a couple days ago.
Hit on You is going to lock up the Louise Suggs Rolex Rookie of the Year award this week. Grace Kim had to win this week and next week to have a chance of passing You, who got, after so many close calls, Morgan, a breakthrough victory a few weeks ago at the Walmart.
Yeah, she's had a tremendous season. Been so close so many times. I've really enjoyed getting to know her this year. She has a fun personality. She's got a tremendous golf game, especially her long game. Her ball striking, watching her hit golf balls on the range is something special. And I'd expect the confidence that she has gained from this season, getting that first season under her belt. I wouldn't be surprised to see some pretty big things from Hayden moving into next season and the future of her career. She's so talented.
Final group making the turn. It was a 3-shot deficit for Lilia Vu when the round began. She's now up by 1.
The wind here is off the left, a little bit helping. She's got another fairway finder there.
She's got a little bit of that look, Karen, that she had at AIG, just picking up the tee, very loose, free-flowing golf swing, very confident and in control.
I think she just knows. I think a player knows if they've got it when they stand on that first tee at the start of the day. If they're, you know, if they've been playing well and they're striking the ball well and they're enjoying what they're doing on the golf course, it's very easy to play well. But if you're a little bit nervous or you kind of are very wishful about what you want to do, it makes it very difficult. But Lilia knows now. I mean, she's got 2 major championships under her belt, another victory, and she's very happy out here right now.
Now we're drifting right.
Might have a little tree trouble there.
I think she will.
It's not easy to get it close to this hole from the center of the fairway, let alone from behind a tree.
3rd shot up ahead for Munoz.
Has to deal with a mound that might kick this left to right. Chipping back into the wind. That was sweet.
You said she knows these grasses.
Yeah, that's a beautiful shot. I mean, landed it right into that upslope.
All right, now trailing by 1 after the bogey at 8. Pedersen.
I'd like to see this one go full send. Just skirts by that left bunker.
Just been a little bit of her miss is the tug. She's tugged a couple drives. A couple of her misses with her irons have been left. Not dramatic, but just enough to not be firing on all cylinders yet today.
Par putt for Bianca Pagdinanan. Oh, every shot counts. She's still projected at 56th, which would be enough to get her in next week. All right, and again, we've got something other than putter from on the green at 10. This is Allison Lee.
I like this play. It was going to be nearly impossible putt. She's on the crest of basically the Big Dipper roller coaster. And she's going to try to chip this down to the flat portion. And just didn't get any kind of spin on it. Oh, goodness.
It's a similar place to where we saw Lexi chip to. She had a bit of an easier chip just being closer to the edge, but these greens, if they're rolling 13, they're going to be really tight to chip off of.
Pagdinanan comebacker for bogey. Those are not gimmies, and every one of them so critical for a player trying to secure her spot at that $7 million CME Group Tour Championship. This was Allison Lee's par attempt at 10.
Yeah, uphill putt, back into the wind, left to right break. Salvaged a long one at 8, but not able to do it here.
First drop shot for Allison Lee over the weekend. 13.
Sarah Schmalzel for birdie. Up the hill. Is it going to drop? Oh, what a time for that putter to come alive for Schmalzel. And that projects her to 60th, so she's right on the number. It's going to be one shot that'll make the difference for Sarah Schmalzel. It's that tight in the race to Naples. Roning in, second at the 11th.
Patty Tavatanik unable to make birdie up ahead at 10, back just right of the fairways where we find Amy Yang. How about this angle, Karen?
Well, she's really stymied behind that tree. You've got a couple of options. You could go either side of the tree. You could go right, you could go left. But the fact that she hasn't moved cameras or people, I think she's either going left or she's trying to go over the tree.
It looks like she's taking practice swings, Karen, to keep it under the tree. Ideally, she needs to try and get this long past the hole. That's the best place to get it up and down from.
And Morgan, it's much better to be left than it is to be right on this shot as well. From that
left bunker is not the end of the world.
Hey, Rick.
Where will it stop? Pine straw, maybe? Oh, dear.
Oh,
wow.
From our angle, that doesn't look great. She will have a backstop to use should she so choose, chipping back towards this hole. All in all, a pretty decent shot. Got a little bit unlucky with the final spot that it ended up. But she didn't have much there.
All right, Lily Aboon next, up 1.
Well, you got
definitely, because we needed to like skip. Yeah, and as long as we stay kind of at that camera guy, even a touch left of it is fine. That should be good.
167 to the hole. But really, you just want to land it at the top of that slope, Morgan, don't you? And just let it trickle down there.
As long as it trickles down, from what we've seen so far, Karen, the worst thing you can do is leave it on top. Or right, as it looks like she may have lost it. Is it gonna go?
No.
It looked like she wasn't thrilled with the contact. It just didn't get enough of it. And look, she knows how tough that's going to be coming up. We'll see what she chooses to do.
Well, Pedersen's only got 149. and she's got an upslope, and she's only got a 9 iron. I think with this club, you might be able to land this down that back level. And with her ability to spin the ball, she might be able to get this one to stop back there.
Yeah, I believe it was Patty in the group ahead that did that, that carried it all the way to the flag.
Yeah.
Best we've seen. What a shot. Makes such a difference coming in with a short iron. What a beauty. That could be just enough. She rolls that one in. Could be enough to really flip her round around like she made a putt on that hole yesterday.
17.
Head on you with her second. A little more breeze out there, certainly when I was walking around earlier today. I was going to say it might make this hole a bit more difficult, but not for Head on you. What a shot. It's going to be a tap-in birdie. The Pirates are coming in. You got to be careful. Back with Roning Yin at the 11th.
That was a wishy stroke right there, Tom.
Well, this is the third for Amy Yang. And Karen, what do you think?
Well, she's just got that little bit of grass slip in front of her. She's on a sandy line. Doesn't have to deal with the pine straw too much. But you're right. You should take advantage of that backstop. Let it roll up there and let it come back towards the hole.
Yeah, she looks like she's aiming more straight at it.
Yep. It's a steeper slope. Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was a beautiful shot. If she was going to use the backstop, she would have needed to aim a little bit more right and allow it to swing around. But that was what she drew up. That was what she meant to do the whole time.
Yeah. 16th year on tour, 34 years old. That was incredible. And a chance to say 17 under. One more look here.
Just really, really committed to this shot. Caught it solidly, didn't go for the bunker style shot, and that's why she was able to generate that bit of spin.
She'll have that to stay 17 under and 1 back. Lily Vu's got a really tough proposition coming up for her third shot.
At the 13th, this is Megan Kang. She said she's been striking the ball very well the last couple of days.
There you go.
Had 3 birdies in a row on the front 9, dropped a shot at 10, as many players have done. So she's 2 under for the day.
Well, we've seen pitch shots from up on that top level of the 10th green, but it looks like a putter for Lily Vu here.
Well, and this is one of those really, putts that you know when you get over. You know that the line that you have to take, which is way out to the right, is where the steepest downslope is. So that the more right you go, the faster the ball will roll back down towards the hole. And it literally will take a sideways left turn down towards the hole. And really, judging the speed of that slope down the hill, I don't know how you can get this close. Just so difficult.
Let's see, the people that we've seen chip it have gotten to what, about 20 feet?
Yes.
Maybe a little bit longer.
Back of the green, yeah.
Let's see what Lily can do here with the putter. She has her back, Karen, almost entirely to the hole right here. Yep. It's not something you see every day.
This is carrying a little bit too much speed, I think.
Is that about 20 on the step going down the hill?
I would say maybe 30.
Oh, a reasonable effort.
Better than the pitch shots, huh? That'll be for par, and she'll putt for par before Pedersen will putt for birdie. So it could be a 2-shot swing here, and there's a great look at what you said, Morgan.
And look at how much even steeper it is over by where that volunteer is standing. That's the line she had to take in order to get it anywhere close. Just a really tough putt.
She did what she had to do. At least gives herself a putt from the proper tier. As we go to 17.
Bianca Parkton on him for birdie. Another one misses. That's 2 putts in the latter stages that have gone missing. She's still projected inside the number, though. Still comfortable right now, but not too comfortable. She's projected at 56th.
Here is Lilia for her par to stay 18 under.
And I think, you know, when we've seen her with Morgan, this club has really been quite spectacular for her. She's been really solid with the putter and very confident with it. I think this would be a good one right here. I mean, she obviously saw the line that the ball rolled past the hole at, so the read shouldn't be too difficult here.
Karen, I personally think she's one of the very best putters on tour, certainly under pressure when it matters the most.
That one mattered. And what a putt for Emily Pedersen to watch drop.
Yeah, what a huge 2-putt right there. That was just, I mean, we've watched her make a lot of putts all week, but she just keeps it right on her line, that left to right, the tougher putt for a right-hander. Beautifully done.
All right, now Pedersen to tie her at 18 under.
This one's a little bit uphill, so she can put a more aggressive stroke on this.
You wouldn't have thought that, would you? So instead of a 2-shot swing, it remains a 1-shot lead for Lilia Vu, and Emily Pedersen still in search of her first birdie on this Sunday. The number of players who could win this thing has dwindled, and now Roning Yen on the tee at 12, and her chances of winning Player of the Year are slipping away. But a beauty at the 12th. Chance to get back to 12 under, and a par putt, and this would be one to remember for Amy Yang.
It would be an all-world par, that's for sure. So blocked out by that tree. And then the forethought to know that being long was the best option. Oh, that is a bit of a shame.
Oh, it is. I was going to say, what a funny game golf is. All three of them could have walked away with par here in 3 completely different ways. Oh, what a bummer for Amy there.
We talked about it first time we saw this place in competition 4 years ago. This 10th green is just wild. It's a roller coaster from top to bottom. Lexi pitched it, drifted toward the very back. Beyond that middle tier, she would miss the comebacker. Then Allison Lee did the same.
She just didn't catch that solidly. Caught it a groove low. We talk about it being a second shot golf course. No more is it on display than here at the 10th.
Allison would go on to bogey as well. Lilia took the putter. And was the closest, and she was the only one of them to make it. So Lilia Vu, trying to win for the 4th time, stays up by 1.
And this is a view from the back of the green. It's so unusual that you see a green ever slope away from the player, let alone with a roller coaster type drop in the center. It's about 20 paces on the green where that slopes away so dramatically.
Move to the tee at the 11th, and Lilia Vu.
And I think that I mean, we've seen obviously what Lilia can do with the putting, but she's so consistent with the long game as well. I think that's why we've seen her have the year that she's had. Just consistency across the board.
The inside of that, the edge of that.
That's lovely.
Right bunker. So just into off the right.
Now Emily Pedersen needs to kind of turn things around here. She's over par, which on a golf course where we've had such low scoring, this is not the way that she's played the first 3 days. So the nerves are obviously having a difference today. The pressure getting to her right now, but still has time to turn things around, Karen.
She does, and I think, you know, a couple of really good solid strikes. Looked like she got through that one quite well. 290 gets to the bunker on the left. She's played that one nicely out to the right.
Yeah, in good shape. Amy Yang 1 under for the day. That's why she's a few back of the lead.
Yeah, and just I mean, the drive really put her out of position on that previous hole. But normally really smooth swinging, and doesn't normally miss it too far.
She's always had that wonderful rhythm. So smooth.
And she said that is her only swing thought. Yeah, what a swing it is. Well, it may take the short game wizardry of a player like Lydia Ko to manage this shot at 18, Morgan.
She almost hit that too good, to where it just grabbed too much on top of that slope.
That could be a huge putt to determine top 100. It won't matter for Lydia because she's exempt, but it could matter for other players. We'll see that in a second.
Alison Lee for a birdie at 11.
Yeah, she hasn't made a birdie since the 4th hole. A little dry spell right now.
She's left a few short, Kay. Maybe just a touch tentative.
This is Wei-Ling Shi for a birdie at the 13th. Now, Wei-Ling is outside of the top 100. So we've been talking about getting into next week. How about trying to keep your card? And that would project her to 93rd, which would be a massive move for Wei-Ling.
And so we talked about it, Morgan, for Lydia, having won 3 times last year. She's exempt through 2026, but at number 101 in the race to the CME Globe, as you see there, she could move into the top 100. She doesn't need it for exempt status, but she could knock someone out who does.
Yeah, it's an interesting position to be in. She, of course, has no idea that she is there, but something that we're watching because it could potentially force somebody else to go to Q School. Some of these players that we're talking about right now, Q Series, I should say.
Yeah, you're talking about Maddie Zarek and Mina Haragai, 99th and 98th, both of whom missed the cut. Lydia didn't need that. The others might. Let's see where that leaves her. That's a bogey for Lydia. And for the first time, she is going to miss the CME Group Tour Championship. This is the 3rd for Amanda Doherty. She needs a big finish if she's going to move into the top 100. And what a time to come up with a huge shot. Projects her to number 104 with 4 holes to go. There is a lot more than just that trophy to play for today. But Lilia Vu leads in that race, up by 1, as they play the 11th on this Sunday in Bel Air, Florida, the final full field event of 2023. NBC Sports and the LPGA Tour proudly present the season-long race to the CME Globe. From Bel Air, Florida, it's final round coverage of the ANNIKA, driven by Gainbridge at Pelican. Here in the Tampa area, where the LPGA had its first ever event in 1950, today it's the final day of the final full field event of 2023, and there is drama up and down the leaderboard here at Pelican Golf Club. Bel Air, Florida, about 3 square miles, and it includes this immaculate course, a Donald Ross design, refurbished a few years ago and now hosting the world's best in women's golf for the 4th year. They're playing for a lot more than just that trophy. But at the top of the leaderboard, let's look at some of the highlights. Grant Boone, Morgan Pressel. Here's Amy Yang at the 4th.
Coming off a red-hot 61 yesterday. Tournament record, her low score of her career, birdied the first, and then hit it tight here at 4.
She would birdie there to get within 1 of the leader, Emily Pedersen. Lilia Vu in that final group, making a move today again.
She has been hitting it tight, rolling it beautifully, and here another one at the 6th.
This to tie the lead with Pedersen making pars.
Not just looking for a trophy today, but to work on winning Player of the Year.
So Lilia in position to win for the 4th time. A couple of majors to her credit already. Morgan and I joined by Tom Abbott. Out on the golf course, Karen Stupples and Kay Cockrell. And Karen Stupples watching this final group.
Back uphill. Was disappointed with the approach shot to that point.
It's going to be a 4 for Lilia Vu. It's been a steady day so far for Lilia, a player who's 2nd in the race to the CME Globe. Incredible year and a steady day, and it could be another win going her way. Let's go to the 18th.
And we talked about it, not just the trophy at stake. Spots next week at the CME Group Tour Championship, and here is from the Philippines, Bianca Pagdananan, 4th year on tour. And Morgan, she's done what she's needed to do.
She's missed a couple putts here on the last 2 holes, but that was an all-important shot to find her way to Tiburon come this evening.
Tom, the overnight leader at the 11th.
Yes, had a comfortable lead, 3 shots coming into the day, but this is for par at 11, Karen.
Yeah, she missed the green right, really short-sighted herself to that hole location. That's just over that false right side. And tried to hit a low cheeky chip shot, but couldn't get it to stop.
Going to save one? No, it's going to be another drop shot. 7 total leads of 3 or more entering the final round this year on the LPGA Tour throughout the season, and all of those players went on to win. Emily with a 3-shot lead coming into today, but now she's trailing by a couple of shots, and just not the same player that we saw over the first 3 days. Let's go to 12.
And here's another race that we're watching. 100th on the CME points list. Atha Munoz at the 12th. Kay Cockrell is there.
Yeah, such a tough shot, trying to hybrid putt that. Just barely got it to the edge of the green, and at least she'll have a par putt upcoming.
11.
Birdie putt for Amy Yang.
Trying to bounce back from the bogey at the previous hole.
We talked about this yesterday, how this green was the most difficult green to putt on. Just something about it that's been quite tricky. Today, as you would expect if you were watching our coverage a little earlier on Peacock, number 10, the hardest green to putt on.
Like upstairs and a downstairs on that 10th, and it has had its share of victims. Atha came in, Kay, number 100, as we see in the CME points list. You got to stay inside that to keep your card, and what a performance.
3 birdies on the front 9. This really her first hole that she's had to grind for a par, and it was because she pulled her tee shot long.
I have to say, at this moment, Atha's not thinking about keeping her card. She is 3 shots off the lead with now 6 holes to play. I mean, that was an unfortunate, untimely bogey, but she's looking to win this golf tournament.
Pagdananan for a closing birdie. Incredible, and she knows it. She lost her card. Prodigious talent out of University of Arizona. Projected play next week at the CME Group Tour Championship. A player who was well outside the top 100 just a couple of weeks ago. Patty Tapatanica at the 12th.
Well, she needed that. That was her first birdie today. It's been tough going so far.
After a 62 yesterday, Tapatanica birdies the 12th. Well, here's another story we're watching, Tom. Another player like Atha.
Yeah, top 100 gets you into next year. You don't have to go to the qualifying tournament for the LPGA Tour. It was going to be a tough task for Amanda Doherty. She's battling away out there. And that one goes missing. She's projected right now to move to 105, so not quite good enough. Needs some birdies coming home.
At the 12th, this is Allison Lee for birdie.
Hit the best shot in the group. This to get back to 15 under. That's so cruel.
She's come so close, Morgan, including just a couple of weeks ago in Korea where she lost a playoff.
And I kind of try and watch a player's body language in this situation. She was holding her posture. It looked like she hit it where she wanted to. The putt that she was trying, it just caught not quite enough of that low lip. That was an unlucky lip out.
Lilia Vu in that final group. It has been a breakout year. She had a terrific second season, returning to the LPGA last year. She's broken out with 3 wins, and now a chance for a 4th as she tees it up at 12.
Yeah, for sure stock. It's 100% stock. Just good start line, seeing land, you know, pretty much on it.
Up on the right.
Correct. Mostly off the right.
Like you heard, wind is mostly off the right. It's still a fairly nerve-wracking shot here. This is going to be a 9-iron. In that, you know that the front of this green is really slick, and she doesn't like it.
Wow.
She's going to be very similar to where we just saw Arthur take a hybrid. That is so quick from over that green. Considering that was a full stock iron, as they were talking about, that was a big miss.
As well. Yeah, I like the 40 shoot.
Amy Yang is next, 2 back.
I think that just goes to show you the, the intimidation factor of the bank and the slickness down that right side back towards that penalty area. It kind of really narrows your focus and makes you want to hit it a little bit left. Amy's going with 1 club more. She's got the 8-iron out.
Taking dead aim right at this flag stick here. Beautiful square lines. Watch this tempo.
This is going to be fairly good.
Maybe even better than fairly. That's going to be a chance for Amy Yang to get to 17 under. Morgan, another look here.
She knew it. As you can always tell, as a player draws with their eyes from the sky, from the ball in the air down to the flag. You know it's going to be pretty good.
Eyes wide open at the 12th.
I am the master of the understatement, I think, there. But, this is a 9-iron for Emily. And she's got to sort of... Yeah, use a good one here. I mean, she's got to calm down a little bit. There's plenty of golf still to be played out here. She's been playing well enough to know that she's had plenty of offense. She can make birdies. Just don't try and force them.
As opposed to Amy's square, she was aimed way right there. Little overcorrection, subconscious tug, because you know that you're aimed a little bit too far to the right.
All the drama of the final Sunday of the regular season, and Lilia Vu from 3 back to 2 on top. Today's coverage is brought to you by Gainbridge, proud sponsor of the ANNIKA and Parity Week, celebration of women athletes and 3 sports icons. And by CME Group, where risk meets opportunity. Our leader by 2 has some work to do at the 12th.
She does. This is not easy at all.
What are the options, Kara?
Well, I mean, she's got the putter out. It's a really steep slope that she's got to to go up to get onto the green. And then once the ball hits the green, it's downhill all the way to the hole. Judging the speed on this is super difficult. The tendency is to hit it a little bit too hard, but you don't really want to do that because it's completely downhill all the way past the hole as well. This is so touchy.
It's going to be pretty good into the green going up this slope as well.
Oh, this is...
that was pretty well done.
This is so good, Morgan.
What a shot.
Think about the 10th hole when she was up on the top tier and 2-putted from there.
And this is, again, both places where we've seen other players take wedge. She chooses to take putter and just crest that hill enough. It's straight down to the hole from there. What a beautiful shot.
Goes with the Texas wedge. She won a major championship in Texas earlier this year. One of her favorite eateries is Texas themed, and she's been going there this week to keep up the good luck. And now that putt for par, trying to win for the 4th time. We'll keep it here. And Emily Pedersen began, Karen, with a 3-shot lead. No birdies yet today.
No, and the important thing for Emily here is to not, as I said on the tee, try and force the issue here. You just got to keep telling yourself, I'm going to put as good a stroke as I can on this putt. Just try and keep being patient, because as soon as you try and make it happen, try and force it, it never goes well. But being patient is the hardest thing to be at this point when you've had a good lead and you're now trailing. Flipping that switch in your head is hard.
She's talked a lot about being kinder to herself on the golf course when she makes mistakes. She's made a few today. I think it's going to be, she's going to have to rely on Mikey a little bit, her caddy, Mikey Patterson, who's very experienced, to help her turn the tide today.
Up one.
Alison Lee, second shot.
Oh, she went after that wedge hard.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was a good shot.
All right, we have a par putt for Vu coming up at Amy Yang. 16th year, Karen, on the LPGA Tour. She's won 4 times, all of them over in Asia, and a chance today to do something that she dearly told you she wants to do, win in the U.S.
Well, and I remember her when she was just turning pro in 2006. She played on the Ladies European Tour, and she was highly touted. At the time, Korea was looking for the next Siri Park, and people thought of Amy Yang as potentially that next Siri Park. And she had the same kind of, great looking swing, sort of same sponsor even, and everybody thought she was going to be that next greatest Korean player. That was a lot of expectations riding on a young player's shoulders.
Morgan, the speed of these greens just seem to keep getting quicker.
Yeah, that was a good looking roll. Just carried too much pace, a little bit less, and it probably would have fallen in, caught that top side. But
so Lilia has this for par.
This is going to be quick here, Karen.
Yes, anything from above this hole, and you said it earlier, not only because it's downhill, but because it is down grain as well. And when you get the two things going in that direction, I mean, you can add a couple to the stimp, and you can putt very defensively because of that.
I always like to just pick a spot, pick your line, the start line, and try and just roll it over that spot in front of the ball. Pick a spot about 2 inches in front when you've got a downhill putt like this. Just get it started on your line. That's the only thing that you can control. Hit it like it's a straight putt.
I used to like it with a short, shorter backstroke as I can on these really little short, speedy putts, because that way you don't have to think about sinking up that club face again.
Really is a pretty aggressive putter.
That tightens things up. That's going to be her first drop shot since Friday.
It just looked like she played it outside the hole and expected it to fall to the right, just like Amy's. It never did.
So many low scores Saturday. 61 from Amy Yang. Lily Vu was one of 3 62s, but it's been a bit tougher today.
I think with just that little bit extra breeze, some tougher hole locations.
And so the lead is 1 for Lily Vu as we welcome you to Pelican, the ANNIKA driven by Gainbridge here in Bel Air, Florida. And Morgan, this season, the regular season crescendoing here in Bel Air, and it's ending much the way that it began, with Lily Vu coming from behind. 3 shots back when the day began, now up by 1 even with that bogey. It was a big comeback in Thailand from 6 behind that really set the stage for a breakout season for Lilia.
She has had nothing short of a dream season. 2 majors, 3 wins, looking for her 4th win, looking for player of the year. She has played like such a confident player all week, kind of more like what we saw at AIG with you talk about how she came from behind, both at Chevron and in Thailand, but she played starting tied for the lead at AIG and ran away with it and played with such confidence and such tremendous passion. That's more of what we've seen so far this week from Lilia. That was the first blip, really. That bogey there at 12, a poor iron swing. I mean, look at yesterday. On the back 9 alone, her proximity to the hole was inside of 12 feet. For 9 holes, she averaged inside of 12 feet. That's how solidly she is striking the ball. And that's why we're surprised when we see her miss the green with the 9-iron there on 12. But it'll be interesting to see how she's able to rebound from that little bobble.
And we've got some number crunching to do here in the next couple of hours, as a lot is on the line. Not just the win, but also top 60 to get into next week's Tour Championship, and top 100, Tom, to stay out on the LPGA Tour. For a player like Allison Lee, she lost her card and has now come back as a member, full member.
And she's been playing really well in the autumn here, and she's got a chance to win today. Kay, she's got to stay in the game.
She cannot let these good birdie opportunities go away. And she did on the last hole, but got it here at 13. Really, after a beautiful wedge. Well done.
Yeah, moves her to 15 under par. I'm not sure if she's going to know she's only 2 back. She may feel like she's further behind. Same can be said for Megan Kang. This is for birdie at the 15th. This will be for back-to-back birdies. And Megan Kang, who broke through and won for the first time in Canada a few months ago, now has a chance to win for the 2nd time on the LPGA Tour. And we'll go to the tee at the 13th with Emily Pedersen.
Amy Yang's tee shot has already found the fairway. And this fairway is probably about as wide a fairway as you can get out here at Pelican. So she can really unleash on that one. Looks like she has.
Yeah, it's inviting, these fairways, a few of these tee shots on the back 9. You feel like you've got all the space in Florida to hit the ball. But as Morgan was saying earlier in the week, there is a sense that you do need to place the ball in certain positions here to have easier second shots, and this is considered really a second shot golf course. If you put yourself out of position, if you look at what happened to Amy Yang on number 10, it can cause you some problems. And number 10 really a great example of where you have to try and place the ball. Now Lilia Vu.
Yep, and she had a different look in her eye after that bogey on the previous hole. She's out to get a little something back here.
Just kind of wiped that one and didn't look happy. She's got to keep her concentration because she's still in front. Let's go to 18.
And what a great story this is. Rachel Keane, who helped Wake Forest win the East Lake Cup in Atlanta last week. Got a sponsor invite. Morgan, she's played brilliantly.
It's awesome. I've watched her play a good bit in her amateur career, certainly at the Women's Am, and she's going to be a fun player to watch in the future on the LPGA Tour someday.
Steph Kyriakou has a chance to get down the road to Naples next week. Started 71st in the race to the CME Globe. With that birdie there at 15, she's now projected 62nd, so just on the outside looking in. Seems relaxed. A couple birdies coming home. She could be heading to Tiburon. We're back at the 13th hole here in the final round of the ANNIKA, driven by Gainbridge at Pelican, and this is Lilia Vu getting ready with her second.
A long way in here, Tom. I don't think she got as much out of that drive as she would have liked. 172 left to the hole. There is some helping wind. I expect her to try and get a little bit of release on this one. She's got a 7-iron. From a nice flat lie.
Got away with that one. She didn't look too thrilled. Again, what, the iron on 10, the iron on 12. This one here, certainly not the same confidence in her iron play as we saw yesterday.
And speaking of yesterday, Amy Yang with a 61. Take a look at our insights by KPMG. 6 rounds of 62 or better entering the week. Just 1 in 1,600 rounds and 5 this week. None better than Amy Yang.
It's from 152. This is an 8-iron. Off of the downhill lie, so it's coming in a little bit lower.
Yeah, this 18th green. Great memories for Nelly Korda. She's won this event the last 2 years. A couple of years ago in a playoff. Last year held off Lexi Thompson. It's going to be a putt for an even par 70. And she'll head down to Tiburon. The C&E Group Tour Championship. That's where Emily Pedersen hopes to be.
Yeah, came into the week at 80th, and she is projected 51st right now, despite the fact that she's not in the lead.
She's only got 123, so this is just a wedge for her.
That would be a consolation prize, but she doesn't want that right now. But again, we saw her yesterday with a little bit of a tug. Today, also, definitely her miss is left.
And playing with Nelly Korda is Rachel Keane.
And what an opportunity for her, too, playing with Nelly today.
Beat her. Four rounds in the 60s. Not bad. Little preview of what's to come. Lilia Vu, 2-shot lead is down to 1. Sunday Night Football heads to Vegas as the Jets take on the Raiders. 7 o'clock Eastern Time on NBC and Peacock. It all gets started with Football Night in America. Allegiant Stadium going to host the Super Bowl. Not sure that either of those two teams will be there in February, but you never know. That's why you play the games.
You've got to speak more highly of your team, the Raiders.
My beloved Raiders are 1-0 under their interim head coach. That's what we're looking at.
It's okay. Sutton United, my team in England, scored in the 95th minute to draw 1-1 yesterday.
And some good drama here, by the way.
Lots of drama. This is Lilia Vu for a birdie. This is a lot closer now than it looked at times this weekend. And we've got a bunch of players who could win this. Remember, 18 can be tricky. And with the speed of these greens, any kind of putt can get away from you. The tees are up at the 14, so that's a good birdie chance. And this group has that coming up. Pedersen now for a birdie.
Yeah, it's been pretty tough going for Emily on these greens. Hasn't got anything to drop yet today. I think she really could do with something good happening pretty soon. I think for her spirits as much as anything else, Morgan. Keep her head up.
Certainly for her psyche, she needs something to go her way.
Well, Emily Pedersen has won on the Ladies European Tour 5 times. When it comes to the LPGA Tour, these are her best finishes. She did have a runner-up finish, but you got to go back 3 years to the Scottish Open, and only 2 top 10s on the LPGA Tour. It's a different world out here. Players want to get a victory on the LPGA just getting that first win is so difficult. We see it time and time again because we're watching golf all the time. But when you actually think about how many players have been able to win, relatively, it's a very, very small number. Yang now for a birdie. This to tie the lead.
Well, another great chance here for Amy. Her putter has been a little bit cold also today. This one is back uphill. Can give it a little bit of a hit.
Tom mentioned the tees at 14, this par 5, or the tee moved forward, and here's a third shot for Atha Munoz.
Atha, not one of the longer players out here. She's very accurate. She carries 6 woods. Her first iron is a 7-iron, so she laid up 70 yards for her third here. Very good with her wedges.
That'll be a putt to get within 1 of Lilia Vu. Pending this putt for Lilia.
Yeah, still got to take care of this par putt.
You do. With the greens being this fast, the breaks are just that more exaggerated.
Yeah. She said when she starts to think about things, it can go the wrong way. Got to kind of stay in the moment, stay happy, stay relaxed.
Now the big chance here at the par 5 14 for the big hitting Dane Emily Pedersen. No birdies today, beginning with a 3-shot lead. She's now down by 1.
She hasn't hit this tee shot that particularly well, and here's another one. Looks like it's heading left. That's going to be a pitch out back to the fairway. See what kind of trees are in her way.
Atha Munoz to get within 1, up ahead at 14.
Pretty speedy downhill left to righter.
Opportunity missed, and now up by 1, Lilia Vu.
Looking at that a little bit, not as quick pickup of the tee as we're used to seeing, but I think that'll be just fine.
She's having the kind of year that our tournament host had in so many seasons. ANNIKA Sorenstam is back with us here in this final round of the ANNIKA, driven by Gainbridge at Pelican. Great to see you again, ANNIKA. I'm just wondering, as the career money leader all time on the LPGA Tour, what does it mean to you to have the highest regular season purse in this event of any on the LPGA Tour, $3.25 million?
Yeah, I mean, of course, we're super happy about that. I think it's just another commitment from the Doyle family and from Gainbridge just to really elevate women's golf. And, you know, we're coming to the end of the season, as you know, you've been talking about this. There's a lot in stake, you know, this week, whether it's to go to next week or just, you know, getting some more points up the money list or player of the year, etc. So, yeah, it just shows the commitment, the seriousness of this tournament.
Yeah.
Well, you said earlier this week, you've seen your name is everywhere, being the host. Not only has your name been everywhere, but you have also been everywhere. Last night, you even made it to the Lightning game. Tell us a little bit about that. I think we've got some video here.
Yeah, no, I've never been to a Lightning game. That was really fun. Nice surprise with the jersey. Got my favorite number on, as you can see on the back there, 59. I mean, what a game. I mean, so many people. It's just fun to see. And then this was like more Lightning than than I've seen in a while. So it was pretty cool. We appreciate the, you know, the hospitality, and it's just fun to kind of relax in a way, but then also get some, you know, talk a little bit more about the tournament and spread the word.
Your name is on the event. In what ways do you want to put your imprint on this tournament moving forward, ANNIKA?
Well, first of all, I mean, I just like to say thank you to Outlier and Marcy Doyle, the tournament director, and obviously the course with Pelican, with the Doyle family, and Justin Sheehan. I mean, they are really the ones that's doing all the hard work. I'm just kind of sitting back there enjoying and seeing things come to live. But I mean, obviously we're going to talk about it at the end of the week. But I mean, it's just nice to have have my name on a tournament. I'm still connected with the LPGA, continue to try to inspire the next generation of young ladies out there. As we knew, I think we talked about it yesterday. We had 57, I believe, ANNIKA alumni playing in this event, and we had some nice invites. They've done really well. I think we just saw one of them, Rachel Keane, and then Louise Rydqvist from Sweden. So they're having a really good showing this week, and just to continue to inspire the next generation. Provide playing opportunities, and just, I mean, it's so fun to be here and see the growth. And you have seen all the shots out there. It's really impressive.
Well, among the places we find your name is on the award given every year to the player who does best in the 5 major championships, 10 of which you won in your career. It's the Rolex ANNIKA Major Award. And the winner this year is our current leader of the ANNIKA, driven by Gainbridge, Lilia Vu. This was the first year of the Chevron Championship moving to the club at Carlton Woods. She won in a playoff over Angel Yin. It was her second win of the season. You have to win a major to be eligible to win it. And then she wraps up the award in style, ANNIKA, at Walton Heath.
Yeah, this is a great putt here. And what a tournament. I don't think we have seen a double major winner in quite some long time. I believe Julie Inkster was the last one. But yeah, that's certainly secured this award for Lilia. And of course, to partner with Rolex, it doesn't get much better than that.
And Lilia, first American since, as you say, Julie Inkster to win more than one major in a season. And that award is among the many that Tom Abbott will be handing out as our Master of Ceremonies Thursday night, November the 16th. 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can watch the live stream on LPGA.com and on the LPGA's Facebook page. Tom, you've got the script ready, right? We're ready to go for next Thursday night?
We are working with the writers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's Allison Lee for a huge birdie at 14. She's in it, Morgan. She is absolutely in it.
Had 2 really solid putts on those last 2 holes, 13 and 14. Looking for her first LPGA victory.
You know who else is in it is a player who just got her first LPGA victory in Canada, Megan Kang, for birdie at 16.
I thought it was interesting what she said when asked yesterday if it's harder to get your first or your second. She said everyone is hard. And we're seeing that. We're seeing that from Lilia trying to win, from Emily Pedersen trying to win, whether it's your first, your fourth, your whatever it is. It's not easy.
We'll ask ANNIKA if all 72 of hers were hard. How about first Emily Pedersen with her second shot? Karen, what are her options here?
Well, the only thing she could do was just punch it out there, and it was actually sitting in a little bit of a hole.
Karen moved up today with her power. It's an opportunity missed, isn't it?
That's fine. I mean, this is probably just going to keep it low.
So, second shot for Vu.
It's all about stability.
ANNIKA, were they all hard, all 72 LPGA titles?
Absolutely. It's hard to win out here, so I cherish them all.
Lilia up by 1.
Yeah.
That first one, ANNIKA, was a big one.
Yes.
U.S. Women's Open that you won the next year as well. Is there one that stands out of the 72?
I would say the first one, because it kind of gave me the confidence, just knowing I could win out here.
Sounded crisp, Morgan.
Yeah, sent it up the right. Smart play. You could play this hole a number of different ways with the second shot there. Didn't quite have the length to get all the way there, but that's going to leave a relatively simple pitch shot.
So the back-to-back birdies for Allison Lee puts her in a tie for second with Emily Pedersen and this veteran from Korea, Amy Yang. Yang's second at 14. So third shot's coming up for our final group at the par 5 14th. ANNIKA, congrats to you on this first year of having your name on the event. I know you've got a trophy to present later on, do you not?
We do. We have a few things, yeah. And also I'd like to say thank you to the players coming in on 18. It's been fun to be here and gonna kind of milk the last few hours just because it's been so special.
Enjoy.
Thank you for having me.
And for all you're doing with the ANNIKA Foundation, beneficiary this week of the ANNIKA, driven by Gainbridge at Pelican. Thunderbug was there last night with ANNIKA. Didn't go so great for the home team. It's going great here today at Pelican.
We're back at the 15th, the par 3. This is Alison Lee for a birdie.
She pushed her tee shot a little bit, Tom, and ended up past the hole to the right very fast with a lot of right to left break. It just keeps accelerating. I bet hardly any player has left it on the high side on that putt.
I've got a third shot for Amy Yang at the par 5 14th, Karen.
The ball is just a bit below her feet. When the ball hits the green, it's going to kick a little bit to the right. Well played.
Lily Vu has a third shot coming up from in front of the green. So that'll be for Amy Yang to get to 17 under. Let's keep it here for Lilia. And we see Emily Pedersen marking where her third shot came to rest, so she'll have a long birdie putt in a moment. How about Lilia here?
Well, she's on a little bit of an upslope. But there, from the front edge of the green to about 2 yards on, there's almost like a little bit of a false front there. So if she pitches it in that area, it should stop pretty quickly. The feeling is that that's probably where you want it to land, and then take one little hop and stop right by the hole. That was short.
Yeah, that was really short on the backswing. A little bit jabby there. Got caught up in the Bermuda grass. Almost took it a little bit back too far inside. Let's take a look here. And club gets just enough behind her to where she catches a touch of the green first, shuts the club down, catches it a touch heavy.
17.
Mistake off the tee by Megan Kang. The bunker's down the left side. Ball above her feet. Not easy. Asking for it to sit. Yeah, it's going to be a quick putt, but it's on the green.
It's a small target there, not much, very shallow out of that bunker. That was well done.
All right, this is Emily Pedersen, still in search of that first birdie of this Sunday.
And this one's just not easy. It's going to break to the right. It's going to be a bit downhill as well as it gets halfway to the hole. Just got to get the speed right here.
It's a good 4.5 feet coming back for par. Birdies this week, 7 in round 1, 8 in round 2 when she took the lead by 2, led by 3 after 6 birdies yesterday. There's also an eagle in there.
She was leading the field in birdies coming into today. That's not the case.
Missed it in the bunker at 15, did Arthur. This for a par. Good up and down today. Stays a couple back.
Well, a big putt here for Lilia Vu. You've got Yang still with a birdie putt to come, but for Lilia, this to move back to 18 under.
I think if you're Lilia, you have to expect Amy to make hers. I know she hasn't made much yet today, but it just seems like it's a matter of time before Amy makes another birdie, and she does have a great opportunity here. So if you're Lilia, you're thinking, okay, just got to maintain my edge on the field here by putting this one in the hole.
She tries not to think about all of that, Karen. I mean, I think every athlete says they try not to think about that, but she says that she always plays her best when she stays in her little bubble. And I know she says, almost like a broken record, try to have fun. I think that's just her own mantra for herself, but it's always fun when you're playing well.
Yeah, I agree, and you could see the difference in her eyes after she made the bogey on 12. She got a little bit fiery.
That was a tug. That hopped left right away off her putter face. But yes, she is a fiery competitor. I mean, she is a phenomenal player, but she has this inner fight and inner grind. I mean, think about the year that she's had, and she struggled with the back injury for a significant part of it as well. Not just to mention all of the limelight and everything changing in her career so quickly.
Megan Kang for a birdie. Lexi Thompson had this putt just a little earlier and was very delicate with it. Yeah, and that's why, because it can get away from you there very quickly.
All right, Amy Yang still has a birdie putt to tie the lead, but first Pedersen for her par.
This, I think, is important for her right now.
Said she's trying to channel the nerves of winning for the first time. She said, this is what it feels like to be at the top. It's what I want to play for. It's embracing it.
It's the feeling that everybody wants. You're nervous about it, and you're nervous in the moment because it means so much to you. But those are the reasons why you practice for hours and hours and hours on end, just to have this opportunity here. And you know, Emily looking to get it done for the first time. She's still only one back. Amy is only one back. This is a bunched up leaderboard.
Maybe not for long for birdie to tie the lead.
Downhill. Whoa.
That was a shove. We saw Lilia pull her putt. Amy pushed that a bit.
I wasn't expecting that, Morgan.
Yeah, judging by the pace that she hit it, she was confident in her line, so that surprised me as well. She led the field in putting coming into today, and you said it a couple holes ago, Karen. She's just been ice cold with this club today.
Well, and it comes down to being a Sunday. You can see the finish line, and it just seems like everything is just a little bit more important today, and just a hint of extra urgency to you to get to that finish line just makes it so much more difficult.
Opportunity missed, makes the comebacker, and Lilia Vu's lead remains 1. Today's coverage is brought to you by Raymond James, tailored wealth management, banking, and capital market solutions for clients' unique needs. And by Win Grips, the best grips in golf.
Back out at the 17th, back up the hill here for Megan Kang, but this is for par to remain at 15 under, 2 back. She's been working hard on this part of her game. Yeah, that was confident there. So 1 hole to play. Birdie would go a long way for Megan Kang. And we'll go to the tee at the 15th, the par 3. Get the rangefinder out. They've been able to use those for the last couple of seasons on the LPGA. There are a few major championships where players are not allowed to use distance measuring devices. For the most part, allow the rangefinder. We'll have our top choice of technology presented by Progressive Insurance for the tee shots here at the 15th, and Amy Yang looking for a good one.
Well, and the rangefinders are great. It gives you the total yardage to the hole, but caddy and the yardage work's still vitally important because you know where you have to pitch it, whether you're going to pitch it on a downslope or into the slope of the green, so you know how the ball's going to react. Just a little bit of help off the left today, this wind.
Oh, that's not going to sit down. That's going to go miles
Just
over.
a touch, yeah. The trunk, yeah.
Wow.
Any release.
There's not a lot of rough on this golf course, so when you find it on a par 3, you really missed it. Let's go to 16.
And just one back, Allison Lee.
What was that?
What's the minimum in line with the flag there?
14. In line with the flag, or?
Yeah. Just like you said, hump, just left of the flag right there.
So this 17 is this middle hump where it starts to go downhill. 17 would be 41. 41, we'll just call 41 minimum. Okay.
Just keep it right.
Okay, yep.
And that's the voice of her new caddy and friend from Vegas, Shota Takata. He has experience caddying on the men's side of game for Doug Gim. And he's also caddied over in Japan, and he's on the bag this week and hopefully next week. It's looking like they're trying to land this past that mound. I'm sure she hits at least 141.
That hole sign on the 17th tee is a good target, about 5 paces right of the flag.
That was just about the angle and got a clap from Patty Tavatanagit, fellow Bruin.
Edison has found the green just short of the flag. Now Lilia Vu.
This is a 6-iron drawing.
That was one of the best swings we've seen her make in a few holes. Beautifully done.
A good chance for a birdie coming up for Lilia Vu, who's managed to hang on to the lead here in the final round of Pelican.
Two shots off the lead. Second shot at 16 for Afa Munoz.
She's got a 7-iron in her hand. Wind left to right. This is a very aggressive line.
That looks like she's trying to take something off of that. You don't see too many golf balls end up left of that whole location on 16. That's a wonderful place to putt from.
And even fewer on purpose left of that flag. Sarah Schmelzel with a birdie here at 18, projected to move right on the number 60 to get into next week's Tour Championship. Is it that close? Again, these are all projected as we take you to 15.
Second shot for Yang.
We've seen her show some really good touch from over the back of one of the earlier greens.
That grabbed coming out of the longer rough. I think most of the players who play here would take that one, but Amy needed to get a little closer.
Well, Lexi Thompson's not going to make the Tour Championship. It'll be the first time that she doesn't. But, Morgan, she's got to be encouraged by how this season ended.
Oh, there's no question. Starting, what, about Canada, Portland, Cincinnati really
Cincinnati
was,
early September, yeah.
When her season started to turn around, started to play some golf like we're so used to seeing Lexi in her career. And, you know, it's not going to be too long. She's going to play in Grant Thornton in a few weeks' time.
Not when she wanted to play Tiburon, but she'll play it. 15.
Big putt here for Pedersen.
It is, Tom, and it is uphill, so she can get this a little bit of a positive stroke here. Good, she held that follow through.
Just didn't quite have enough pace. I'm not sure she quite had the line.
It's so hard to do when you're not playing well, but she really needs to just flip her whole body language. She still is right in this.
So is Allison Lee. This to tie the lead.
She sure is, and got a read off Patty Tavatanagit. Knows this peels off to the right. Putting down to the water.
Come on, get in.
This is the part of her game that has made such a difference in her results. Working with Chris Cho, new putting coach. As she talked about, she used to stand over putts like that and just wish that they would go in, and now is so much more confident.
Hardest of the par threes to hit the green, the 15th, 63% of the field hitting the green today. Amy Yang missed that green. Now this for par.
Downhill will break to the left, but the wind is sort of coming from that left too, so it might hold it up just a little bit.
Not the time to drop a shot for Amy Yang, so she's going to fall back to 15 under par. Lilia Vu still has a putt for birdie to come, so that could be a 2-shot swing in terms of Amy's position.
Arthur Munoz for birdie to get within 1.
Well, that was a timely first birdie for her on this back 9.
So forget about keeping your card. A great chance to win. Now up at 18, Sarah Schmelzel, the comebacker. Oh dear. Well, that will guarantee that she will not make it to the Tour Championship for the 3rd time. A good season for Sarah, the 29-year-old from Phoenix. Back to 15.
Lilia Vu for the birdie.
Yeah, there's a nice scoreboard, Tom, right behind this green that both Amy Yang and Emily Pedersen have both taken a good hard look at. This putt for Lilia, it's going to be a bit downhill, so really it's just about getting this ball started on the line you want.
Hasn't made a birdie since the 6th hole. Good time to do it here. Take a 2-shot lead with 3 to play. And that is the look of a player who's had a fabulous 2023 campaign. A birdie at just the right time for Lilia Vu.
Now up by 2, Lilia Vu on the tee at 16.
No need for a driver here for Lilia as 255 runs into that bunker on the right. This is down that right side.
She's watching it. It's not going to get to the bunker. Reason why she took a fairway wood there.
We've got a lot to still determine today and next week, but one thing that we have wrapped up is the Aon Risk Reward Challenge. Ataya Titigun this weekend had to pick up 4 shots on 2 holes at the 14th, and she was only able to make birdie a couple of days, and so Angel Yin wins the $1 million first prize right on the heels of winning her first LPGA title. Player she beat in that playoff in China, by the way, Lilia Vu, who leads here by 2. This is where they began the week on the left, and on the right is where they are projected to finish. Lilia Vu looking for a 4th win of the season after a birdie, leads by 2.
Who?
Same here on mine.
Kiriakou 61.
Was Wheeling second in the water?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Some of them are right.
Well, yeah. Some of them are right.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
What happened, Kay?
Oh, I just
Scoreboard, manual scoreboard go wrong? Manuel
I was
scoreboard.
going to say, because I was just looking at Arthur, and I was like, I think she has to win to get in next week. And then I saw that.
We don't know.
Could you imagine it was all wrong? We didn't know.
Arthur could get to 564 with she could.
I think with the wind, she would get in.
Well, definitely with the wind, but I think second would also.
Maybe alone.
Lily Vu began the day 3 shots behind Emily Pedersen. Pedersen has not made a birdie yet today. Lily Vu just made the first birdie of anyone in the final group since she made one at 6. A little bit tougher golf course today. All the pressure with all that is at stake. And we still have a lot to determine yet. So we take you out to 17.
This is Arthur's second shot here.
Yeah, it is just a couple steps inside of 98 yards, but right now that wind has picked up a bit. At least a half a club of hurt. She's got a wedge out. Just going to try to feel this in. She's very particular about her routine. Her swing looks really good these days. The rotation is great. She stays really connected. Nice sawed-off finish on some of the shots.
Beauty. Beauty.
Oh, yeah. Wow. She's so good with her wedges, Morgan.
Yeah, that was a gorgeous, like you said, a sawed-off swing, really controlled.
And as long as it lands like
on the whole side,
right of the tee board behind it, like that's like your absolute most of that. So it's got to be more on the edge of the bunker, but help off the left so you can bring it a little bit. You got an extra 9, so that's 75. I'm fine with it because there's help. You can hit it full, and you can be aggressive with that.
I'm going to show you how
Perfect.
with
Helping off the left. Yeah.
So Lydia's got 164. The ball is above her feet. It's on a bit of a downslope as well. This is, again, an intimidating shot with that hole locations. Left with the penalty area on the left. This one's drawing. Oh, what a shot.
Should suit her eye here. What a beauty.
She's playing like the player of the year, which she will take the lead in if she finishes this off. 17.
Alison Lee, 2 behind.
Yeah, 86 yards to the hole, gap wedge. Oh, goodness. This hole can do crazy things to people.
That might miss the bunker. There's a gap between the bunkers there. I think she might rather be in the bunker. It could come back a long way. Yeah, that's not good at all for Lee.
This is the 4th shot for Wei Ling Shi. Take a look, 103 in the race to the CME Globe. She's projected to move inside the top 100 and keep her card. And that should be enough, even hitting her second in the water.
It's a dangerous shot with your career on the line. She may feel like she blew it, but she'll have to wait and see.
All right, here is Amy Yang, now 3 behind. Remember, she had a putt to tie the lead at 14.
Yeah, couldn't get anything to drop. And it's been one of those days cold with the putter, which makes you feel like you have to be extra good with your irons. This from 145, ball was above her feet and sitting down a little bit in that rough.
Oh, and coming out of that rough that landed so softly. Didn't have any forward bounce, just caught a slight bit of into the green there.
It's a great look at what Alison Lee faces with her 3rd now.
This is such a scary shot. You got to be so confident.
Oh, that is so good. That's, I mean, to just walk away with a 4. She'd love to make a 3, but after that second shot, staring bogey in the face, and Alison Lee with that 3rd shot keeps her hopes alive. Just to get within 1.
This snaps pretty hard right to left.
And quick. Oh, no. That was the chance there for her, especially with Lilia, the way that she's played at 16.
Well, time is running out for Emily Pedersen. She has this for birdie at the 16th. Amy Yang has already missed her birdie putt. Vu still with one to come, Karen.
Yeah, and Vu is in there pretty close as well. This one's downhill for Emily.
Alison Lee now for the par.
Took extra time on this putt. And rightly so.
Still got a chance. When you talk about a player that's coming on for 180 career starts on the LPGA Tour, still looking for that first win, lost in a playoff a few weeks ago. Maybe another near miss for Alison Lee, but we'll see.
So Karen said it. How close is Lilia Vu's birdie putt? Well, she's going to wait for Amy Yang to putt this for par at 16.
Yeah, Lilia Vu is inside this one. Amy's is 4.5 feet, maybe 5 feet at the very max. And I think Amy, you know, her game has been good today. Just really been let down by the putter. Hasn't been able to capitalise on some of her really good shots into the greens.
28 putts now for Amy Yang, still with a couple of holes to go. And this was tightly bunched, Karen, not very long ago. But now Lilia Vu with a putt to go up by 3.
Yeah, she's been very steady. And even when she was not very happy with some of her approach shots, they were still around the green and on the green. And she was able to take advantage of those and just keeps holding steady. And then the moment came when she had the opportunity on the previous hole, she took it.
Sounds like she's not 100% sure what this putt does. Brought her caddy Cole in for a second look.
Sometimes it's good to just get that second opinion, just to reaffirm what they're thinking.
She's got one hand on the trophy. Lilia Vu up by 3 with 2 to play. And she would move in front in the Player of the Year race, and she and Celine Boutier would play together at the CME Group Tour Championship. It comes your way on Golf Channel and Peacock Thursday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, the season finale. Still trying to lock in the top 60. It's coming down to the wire. And suddenly, what was just a razor-thin margin at the top is now a 3-shot advantage for Vu.
This hole back into the wind today. It's quite a, it's a good breeze right now. But nice wide fairway.
Arthur Munoz did make her 4 up ahead, so she's 3 back.
Nearly all in.
That's in good shape.
Target. Let it go.
Top Choice of Technology presented by Progressive Insurance here for Emily Pedersen and Karen. It's just been a disappointing day for Emily. Think about the high hopes she would have had at the beginning of the day.
No question about that, but I think that what she has to do now is realise that she hasn't been in this position on the LPGA Tour. This is just like her first little foray into trying to get a victory, and I think if you can take something away from it, it's learning how you react both mentally and physically when you're in this position.
Still has an outside chance, but yeah, you've got to think she's got to go birdie, and Lilia just looks so steady. She's suddenly become really steady. Down at 18T.
And this is a tough place to have to make a birdie, but that's the position Arthur Munoz is in.
She's a pretty determined player, and it starts with a good tee shot.
Just 6 birdies today of the 54 players who have played it so far. Allison Lee now.
Because this is back in the wind, all the players using driver. If it's downwind or no wind, they'll contemplate hitting 3-wood.
Well, you never know. It's a tough hole. Lilia made bogey on it earlier. But those players needing a birdie because Lilia Vu has taken control at the ANNIKA. Today's coverage is brought to you by Gainbridge, proud sponsor of the ANNIKA and Parity Week, a celebration of women athletes and 3 sports icons. And by Volunteers of America, dedicated to building healthy communities through health, housing, and human services. Give at VOA.org.
Look at the 17th hole. This is the second shot here for Amy Yang.
And she's got 107 to this flag. And Tom, you must have seen people come through this hole quite a bit today. And this whole location looks like a beast to me. Just tucked over that big bunker.
Yeah, I mean, once you get above this hole, it's very quick. But not easy to keep the ball below it. Well, that's going to be a quick putt, but better than missing this green.
Well, Tom, you know, we talked earlier about Lilia's 2 majors. She said this year if she won a major, she was going to get a cat. So she did get a cat in Korea a couple weeks ago. She named it after your home club where she won, Walton.
A tomcat.
Yeah, I know you're not the biggest fan of dogs, but how do you feel about cats?
Cats named Walton Heath, yes, they are top of my list of animal loves. Vu second.
Short list.
Quite a cute little cat as well, with her grandmother, and actually watching Lilia on TV playing golf. Smart cat already. Tom, Emily's got just 79 yards. A little bit of wind into, probably playing closer to 84, maybe 85, depending on how high you flight this.
Spin a little bit. Okay. Well, just very disappointing day for Emily Pedersen, but not for Lilia Vu with those 3 victories this year. And with a victory, it would be a 4th LPGA Tour win. 4th win of the season, of course. Projected to move to #1 in the Rolex rankings, projected to move to #1 in the Rolex Player of the Year race. And she can celebrate when she goes home with her cat, Walton. I think it's a better name than Carlton, maybe, because she won at the club at Carlton Woods.
Sure.
That's the feeling at the membership at Walton Heath. They're glad that she picked Walton.
At the 18th, Arthur Munoz, second shot.
153 yards to the hole location. Has to ensure she hits this, well, 141 to cover the water, but I think you got to give it a little more, 145. This is most likely her 6th hybrid.
She hits this club so well, Kay. She has such precision with this club.
And she can hit it high and let it soft.
Yeah.
And that's the right side. You want to definitely hit it left of this flag. She thought it probably would come down to the right a little bit more.
She's probably a little bit in between clubs. If it was only about low 140s, that's a lot of club, but aired on the proper side.
Patty Tavatanik 1 over today after a 62 yesterday.
And that's an 8-iron in the air. You could see her breathe a sigh of relief after she made that birdie on the last hole. I'm pretty sure she knows she's well inside the 60.
Yeah, 61st coming in and projected to go to 56th. For Allison Lee, a chance maybe for one last birdie just to put a little pressure on Lilia Vu.
I was talking to her boyfriend who's out here walking around, and he's like, enough winning, Lilia, let Allison have one. It's hard to be Lilia when she gets that look in her eye.
You certainly feel like with the way Allison's playing lately, it's only a matter of time. Really just a tremendous resurgence in her career after struggling for a few years. It's fun to see her have so much confidence again on the golf course.
I could see it happening next week.
Yeah.
You know, she's playing so well. You know, the record-setting performance that she had on the Ladies European Tour a few weeks ago. It's right there. If that putter works next week on those greens down at Tiburon, I think she could get it done. Lilia Vu now. She's just watched Amy Yang putt from the back of the green and it's running about 10 feet by. It's so fast once you see that light color there about 10 feet from the hole on the line that she's putting. Once it gets onto that down grain, it's just so fast.
You've got everything working against you, Tom, for the speed here, in terms of you have the downhill, you've got the down grain, and it's also downwind. Probably the most exposed green on this golf course.
So good luck, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Exactly. This one where your caddy keeps his fingers crossed.
Now it just needs to put the brakes on. Yep. So quick.
It's a good defensive putt right there.
Yeah. Just guarantee the 2-putt. If you're a 3-shot lead, even if one of those players 16 under makes a birdie, it's still a 2-shot lead. It's comfortable. You just don't want to give those players a chance. 2 pars, all likely going to be good enough to win. Now this has to go in for Emily Pedersen. She's got to make birdie here.
Awkward, Tom, because she's a little more on the low side of the hole here, and that she's going to have to hit this ball up a little bit the slope before it then takes that down slope to the hole. It's so hard because you've seen everybody else putt so much quickly past the hole, but you still, from where she was, she had a little upslope.
Well, this will be fun for Patty Tavatanakit.
Oh, she did not handle that little mound in the middle of this green very well, and that veers way down to the right.
I'd say it somewhat depends on your definition of fun there, Grant.
Yeah. Well, for Patty Tavatanakit, who really struggled the second half of last year, she got into those early season events in Asia, really had a chance to work on some swing changes, and it's not going to happen for her today, but it's been a really nice comeback for Patty T. 17.
Par putt now for Amy Yang.
Back up the hill, Tom. There's got to be relief about that.
Yeah, good 2-putt in the end for Amy Yang. Players who are just sort of slipping out of contention, even if they make a bogey or a birdie, it can affect other players' chances of getting into next week. So every shot really is important when it comes to those rankings and the outcome of another player's week. Now Lilia Vu just needs to take care of this one.
I think there has to be just a hair of movement maybe to the left, so I would suggest, I wouldn't keep it outside the hole, I'd keep it inside.
Three-shot lead so much bigger than a 2-shot lead going to 18. Yep.
Just a moment ago at the 18th, Atha Munoz for birdie.
This is a really quick putt downhill the whole way. Allison Lee going to pay attention to the speed and the brake on this.
That could actually, had that dropped, that could have been enough to get her to next week, incredibly. keep it here, and Allison Lee for birdie.
And talk about ANNIKA's getting back to college golf. She was the inaugural ANNIKA Award winner in college freshman year. Ooh, that was a really good read and great speed. Talked about her really wanting to make the Solheim Cup team this year, but I'm sure she's going to be on it next year if she keeps this form. And when she played in her first Solheim, Morgan, it was just a year before that she was playing on the Curtis Cup team in 14, and then she was on the team in 15 over in Germany.
She had so much success so quickly, not too dissimilar from Patty right here as well. A lot of early success and then followed by some struggles. It's just, like I said, fun to see both of them back playing well.
Yeah, and you can definitely see the camaraderie between the two of them. They've sort of been emotionally supporting each other with some fist bumps and a clap of hands when the other one has hit a good shot. Uphill putt for Patty. She can be plenty aggressive with this.
Well, that'll be a drop shot.
Jumped a little left there off her putter.
I think she had that to spare to get to next week. 61st for Patty T. Fellow Bruin from UCLA, Southern California girl, Lilia Vu here in Florida, up by 3 on the tee at the 18th.
Well, and this one is back into the wind today.
Back on. Hey, everybody be quiet. Thanks. Reset, you got it.
So you don't have to worry about the penalty area through this fairway, even though the tee's up today.
She just looks so focused in her eyes, Karen. I know that she talked about when she was trying to win for the first time at Chevron. She got a little fired up, got almost a little bit angry on the weekend, and her caddy Cole, she gave him a lot of credit for keeping her calm. But now she looks, with the year that she's had, she knows how to get it done. Not that you don't rely on a caddy and they can't be helpful, but she's been in that position. She knows what it's going to take.
Up ahead, Atha for par. Well, she knew what she had to do this week to keep her card. She's got to keep it. And she'll return for a 15th season to the LPGA Tour next year. Back on the tee at 18 now, Emily Pedersen.
Good solid drive here. And Emily won't have a huge amount into this green. She does hit the ball a long way.
Fuck off. Yeah, this is just that miss she's had, especially the last 2 days here, Karen. This low left off the tee, even with the irons. It's unfortunately cost her this tournament.
Patty Tavatanikit for bogey. So she'll fall back to 11 under. Still projected to, as you see, move inside the top 60. And a chance to play down the Gulf Coast in Naples next week. Lilia Vu up by 3 on the final hole. Final group making its way up 18. Lilia Vu 3 back when the round began, now 3 in front. And you go back to that Thailand event, she was 6 back. Morgan able to kind of freewheel it a bit, knocked off a couple of ties, including Atthaya Thitikul there. Came from behind to win at the Chevron Championship. And then beginning the day tied with Charlie Hull at Walton Heath, 67 to win going away. Emily Pedersen doesn't appear is going to win, Karen, but a lot to play for here. A chance to make it to next week's Tour Championship for the first time.
Yeah, and she's found herself in a tough spot here. And obviously, par is going to be vital for her success in doing that next week. The lip on this bunker isn't quite as big as the lip that she had on the 8th hole, where she hit a 6-iron up over it. And she hit that 6-iron on that hole about the same distance that she has to the flag here. This one is, though, into the wind. The one on 8 was not.
There's a bit more urgency here, Karen, to pick it clean, even more so than on the 8th.
Yeah, she does have, the ball is just a little bit below her feet here, though, so she's going to have to make sure that she gets very settled with her feet here.
It's so important to keep your lower body as still and solid as possible when hitting these bunker shots, so you can be nice and shallow in your attack.
I haven't got a signal yet, but it's at least that 6, if not maybe a 5. She's playing a little bit left, asking for it to go.
Oh dear.
What a fucking day, Emily.
A bogey will drop her out, we believe, of the top 60. She said she's worked with her mental coach on giving herself 5 seconds after a bad shot. She may need a little more time here.
She's just really struggling with her ball striking today, and just the wrong time.
Amy Yang now.
It's for 160. It's also a 5-iron. Playing this one a little bit left of the hole also.
But gets it on the right side of the mound, so that's a big difference, as we saw from where Patty was putting from. It's going to be quick, but it's all in all a good shot.
And now Lilia.
She's 157. Ball on a little bit of an upslope.
On the left.
This is a 6-iron. Should be perfect club.
Oh yeah, one more beauty for Lilia Vu. She'll have a chance to savor this one. Steps away, moments away from her 4th win of the season. And a step closer to winning Player of the Year. Second shot in the water for Emily Pedersen, now her 4th. Has to hole it to play next week. And one of the tour's best ball strikers just has not had it today, as Morgan just said. Well, take a look at the winners of the 3 previous editions of the ANNIKA. Se-Young Kim had just won the KPMG Women's PGA when she came here and won in 2020. Nelly Korda had moved to #1 and won the KPMG Women's PGA in 2021. Nelly won again last year. KPMG, one of the 3 majors Lilia Vu did not win this year, but it looks like Lily is going to get it done for a 4th victory. That doesn't always tell you about the golf course, but this is a place that's in pristine condition, and it once again has given us an elite champion.
I think it does tell you a lot about the golf course. I think it says it's a major championship type test. You've got to be really solid, especially with 2 pieces of your game, your iron play and your putting. And majors always come down to putting.
That's what I've heard you say so many times. Pedersen for bogey.
Well, and I hope after this week that Pedersen doesn't take this too hardly, that she gives herself a pat on the back for putting herself in this position and giving herself a little platform to build on for next year.
Yeah, this one's going to hurt.
It's going to be the 6th double at the 18th hole today. No birdies for Emily Pedersen. She was inside the top 60 until that double bogey. So her season will end here today. But the best that she's finished, the LPGA Tour, and a lot to take out of the year, I think, for her. Not the least of which is what she helped Europe do in Spain.
She's going to come into next year with a little bit of extra fire, a little extra determination.
Amy Yang, her family moved to the Orlando area when she was young, and she has made such a fine career for herself. Karen, right about 20th in the career money list, and not going to happen today, but another good week for her.
No, you're right, and I think that a lot of people see Amy Yang as a major championship contender as well. I mean, she's been so steady over the years, but a really long career. And for her to keep her motivation going for as long as she has is really impressive.
She was in contention to win the Chevron Championship, one back going into the final round, and disappointing 73. And when she finished, she said, "I'm out here because I want to win a major championship." She'll have 5 more chances next year. Lilia Waiting, she won that Chevron Championship and then won the final major of the year at Walton Heath.
It is a rather pleasant feeling once you've hit your second shot onto the 18th green, knowing that you're going to take home that trophy. You can finally relax and just soak in the atmosphere. Good par for Amy there.
Follows up her career low yesterday with an even par 70 and alone in 4th. Well, you talk about player of the year. Lilia Vu is going to move to #1 in that points-based race. And even with the back issues, Morgan, and the bit of a struggle in the middle of the season after she won the Chevron Championship, wins early, wins late. This for her 4th title.
She has just proven to be such a gritty competitor, and it has been fun to watch her blossom this year. All the hard work she's put in with Brett Lederer, her coach, her team, Cole, her caddy. It's just been a special year for Lilia and her entire team.
Thanks, Mikey.
Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
ANNIKA, driven by Gainbridge.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you. Come on,
for the trophy presentation, jump in best bat average. Right your own 18th green.
Thank you.
Final round 66 from 3 behind when the round began to 3 in front. 4 wins, 3 from behind on Sunday.
Just ice in her veins, truly. I mean, what a champion. Such a wonderful performance. Incredible ball striking, but I mean, her putting too, when it mattered the most, coming down the stretch today.
Our champion is with Karen Stupples.
Thanks, Lilia. Many congratulations. Your 4th victory this year. Does it get any easier?
Honestly, no, it doesn't. I think like each win of mine has had its own battle, and I think today it was again myself. The wheels were kind of falling off a little bit on the back nine, the early of the back nine, and then Cole just said, "Hey, just play your game, and then one shot at a time, and then we can make any putt from anywhere." So, kind of kept that positive mindset up.
As I said yesterday, it's been a magical year for you. What have you learnt about yourself this year?
I think to not give up. I know I tend to be really hard on myself, but as long as I set my goal really kind of easy, just to be in contention on the weekend, then it kind of just somehow happens.
Well, many congratulations. Champion again on the LPGA Tour. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
She moves to #1 in the world, to #1 in the Player of the Year race. And on this final Sunday of the regular season, this is how the top 60 shakes out. And Madeline Sackstrom missed the cut, sweated out the weekend. But with Emily Pedersen struggle at 18, Madeline gets the last spot.
And I know that she has been sweating it out.
Oh, yeah. Patty Tabatanikit moves in along with Bianca Pogdanon. This is the top 100. Maddie Zarek falls out. So too does Mina Haragai. Wailing, she moves in. And this is how it ended. Like it has 3 times before this season. Lilia Vu on top.
I think about a player who only a couple years ago thought about quitting the game, thought about stepping away, and here she is, 4 wins this season, and potential player of the year right in the driver's seat. And Grant, I just want to thank you for a fun season. Thanks for the laughs. Thanks for all the amazing nuggets, and of course, the puns.
It's been a great year. Again, it's been a hard year for our team. Many of us have lost ones close to us, and we've all held each other up, and that's what this team is all about. Have a great week next week, all of you down the coast. And a reminder, coming up next, the Charles Schwab Cup Championship, final round coverage on Golf Channel and Peacock. And then on Thursday, it begins on Peacock, 2 o'clock Eastern Time. Terry Gannon will be in. Morgan and the team, 3 o'clock Eastern Time on Golf Channel. The final event of 2023. Thanks to everyone who made it happen all week long. Jesse West, our producer, director Brian Hennessy, and the entire team of women and men. From Morgan Pressel, Tom Abbott, Karen Supples, Kay Cockrell, I'm Grant Boone. Thanks for watching the LPGA Tour, and congratulations to Player of the Year leader, Lilia Vu.